Well, do you know what your home is built on? For some people in Edison, it's built on history. There used to be a railroad through town built by Thomas Edison himself. Largely forgotten, we remember in Discover, New Jersey.
Let's get the shaking hands.
They gathered recently at the Metuchen Country Club to dedicate the Edison hole. The 15th looked much different 130 years ago when it was the end of the line for Thomas Edison's railroad.
This man was about innovation. Sometimes people only know about the light bulb, and there was so much more to the man.
Of his 1,093 patents, one covered an electric train. The tracks went from his Menlo Park headquarters on Christie Street across town, some 2.5 miles in all. In 1882, electricity was in its infancy. Edison built the train to show its many potential uses.
If you're going to build expensive power plants that are mostly selling light at night, you want to be able to sell power during the day. And so electric railways were one of the things they thought about.
He was trying to find other uses for electricity so he could, build his own business.
Retracing where the railroad went through Edison, if you live on Farmhaven, Grove, or Calvert, you live on historic ground. And while it's all houses and neighborhoods now, back in the 1880s, this was all open land, and the railroad came to an end at what is now the Metuchen Country Club.
All that's left, a small section of the rail, a few spikes, and in West Orange, the old chassis from the train itself. Today, electric trains run continually up and down the Northeast Corridor. Edison's electric train was ahead of its time. Of course, the same can be said about the Wizard of Menlo Park.
This is important. This is part of our history, and it's a really important part because it was the place where the future was being created.
Edison's train was only operational for a year or two. Eventually, the tracks were torn up and built over, but it remains one of his lasting innovations, all of which can be learned about at the Thomas Edison Center at Menlo Park.